Hello. Welcome back to Creeping It Colorful. This is the last sinister Saturday for February. This is the last page I'm coloring, and my hubby is gonna do a what is it called? How they croaked story on, and it's the awful ends of the awfully famous. And what is the story you picked? Pocahontas. Okay, I'm gonna hand over the mic to him and color while he talks.
Alrighty. Royal hostage. Pocahontas, Native American princess, born in Virginia, 1596. Died Gravesend, England, March 21st, 1617, 21 years old. Pocahontas was a Native American princess. She was the daughter of Chief Powhatan. Today, princess can mean spoiled brat. And even though she was the real deal, the name Pocahontas actually means spoiled child in her language, so maybe things haven't changed all that much. But for sure, her life wasn't anything like what we've seen in the movies showing Pocahontas and John Smith, the English settler, as being practically engaged. Pocahontas was only 11 years old when she met Smith, and he left the New World 2 years later. No one likes mentioning what really happened to Pocahontas. It went like this. She was used, duped, captured, taken to England, and exhibited as living, breathing proof that savages could be civilized, except Pocahontas wasn't living and breathing for long. Her early life was idyllic. She skipped here and there around her lush digs with their ponds, woods, and mazes on the cob in what was eventually known as the state of Virginia. Things were perfect until a bunch of Englishmen, including Smith, came ashore in 1607 with plans to civilize the natives and seize everything in sight. Chief Powhatan fought the settlers and took their guns. He was on the brink of beating John Smith's brains out when, according to Smith, Pocahontas threw herself over Smith and saved his life. The chief allowed Smith to live after he promised the chief that no more settlers would be coming, which we know was a lie because John Smith turned out to be the first of a gazillion John Smiths eventually to live in Virginia. Pocahontas was delighted the killing had stopped. The young peacemaker made sure the Englishmen ate and smiled. But then more settlers arrived, and Smith left the colony without even a thank you. So she stopped helping the settlers. And without Pocahontas, there was no peace. You guessed it, fighting ensued. Naturally, the settlers wanted their guns back, so they kidnapped Pocahontas and held her for ransom. She was 17 years old, but Chief Powhatan didn't trade arms for hostages. So instead, the settlers took her to another colony 50 miles away to be civilized. They taught her English and told her about important things like Christmas and guilt. She was trapped. You can bet they never taught her how to say, "I want to go home now." They baptized her, renamed her Lady Rebecca, and married her off to John Rolfe, the luckiest guy in Virginia. Rolfe got Pocahontas' land. Land came with the package when an Indian princess got married, even a kidnapped one. And he planted tobacco all over it. They had a son named Thomas. Pocahontas couldn't escape. She was scarred and scared to death, completely made over from a deer-clad outdoorsy girl into a corset and bonnet-wearing indoor lady. Rolfe liked what he saw and decided to take Pocahontas and son to England on a promo tour. so he could get more money for the colony and for his tobacco farm. One look at London and Pocahontas knew what the English were moving to Virginia for. London was a crowded, filthy, stinky eyesore. Human and animal waste were everywhere. The river Thames was full of garbage. The English bathed only once a year at that time, it seemed, unlike the Indians who got wet every day. Sooty smoke from coal fires hovered in a yellow, murky cloud above the city. The cloud blocked the sunlight. It was so well uncivilized. Pocahontas was paraded around London and became a celebrity. She met King James I and raised funds for the Virginia colony that had kidnapped her. Everybody was happy except Pocahontas. She began to cough from the filthy air at that time. London was a giant petri dish of germs. Without immunities to these foreign germs, she was like a sheep to the slaughter. Pocahontas left London for a cleaner location in the English countryside, but she was still having troubles breathing. No one knew exactly what she was suffering from, but she was in decline. After waiting months for good sailing weather, Rolfe couldn't wait to get back to his tobacco farm. It didn't matter that Pocahontas was barely breathing. She was loaded aboard his ship along with her 2-year-old son, who was also ill. But they didn't get far. The cold sea air turned the tide for Pocahontas. She probably turned blue. The ship docked at the town of Gravesend, and Pocahontas went ashore to get medical attention. However, there is no record that a doctor ever helped her. No surprise, given that the doctor-patient ratio at the time was 1 doc to every 8,000 people. The next thing everybody knew, Pocahontas was dead. She died on March 21st, 1617, in Gravesend. She died of either tuberculosis or pneumonia. She was only 21 years old. So much for being a celebrity. News of her death wasn't even printed in the newspaper. Pocahontas' corpse was loaded into a coffin that day and taken down the block to St. George's Church. She was buried in a vault without any markings or headstone. Many years later, the church burned down. The only thing that survived the fire was the church's register of burials with Pocahontas' name in it. Instead of taking 2-year-old Thomas back to Virginia with him, Rolfe left him to be nursed back to health and raised by his brother Henry. Rolfe had waited and wanted land, the money to keep farming tobacco. Father and son never saw each other again. Pocahontas believed in diplomacy. She did everything possible to foster peace between her people and the settlers. But her life was cut short by the manipulation of others. The deception and the filth did her in. So much for civilization. Pocahontas' son Thomas recovered, grew up, moved to Virginia, got married, and had a daughter. By the time Thomas got to Virginia, his dad was dead. Today, there are 3 million descendants of Pocahontas in England, the United States, and all over the world. The end. Footnote: the many names of Pocahontas. Pocahontas, childhood nickname meaning spoiled child. Meataoka, adult Indian name meaning white bird. A Monut, sacred priestess name used in ceremonies. Lady Rebecca, Christian name from an Old Testament story about a beautiful and wholesome foreign girl given to her by English settlers. Pocahontas' kidnapping. Pocahontas was kidnapped and taken 55 miles upriver to be fenced in town of Henrico. Religion was the main focus there. Twice daily church attendance was mandatory, and punishment for non-compliance was severe. Missed once, no food for a week. Missed twice, flogged. Missed often, shot and hanged or burned at the stake. Captain Samuel Argall. Captain Samuel Argyle was the English ship captain who kidnapped Pocahontas by tricking her into boarding his ship. Argyle was captain of the ship on which Pocahontas was taken to London, where colonists hoped to use her to raise more money for the colony. Argyle was also captain of the ship the sick and dying Pocahontas boarded for the return to Virginia. Pocahontas died before they got out to sea. Things Pocahontas noticed about King James I: teeth falling out, gulped down his food, never changed clothes, prone to excessive sweating, didn't bathe, and didn't like women.
How do you like that for some fun facts, huh? Yep, that was something crazy, wasn't it? Okay, now I'm going to try to finish this the best that I can. I was trying to hurry, but I have a limited amount of pencils right now, but I am using Prismacolor, and I am trying to blend here a little bit. Okay, I will take a blending, I think I have a Kohl's blending pencil, and I'm going to be blending this all in. And so we're working on the leaves right now. Let me see which ones I want to do here. I'll do this one. I think I'll do this color. Maybe not. That's not a good color. I'll use the dark one here. Yeah, that's better. That's what I wanted to do. All right. So let me get you. Let me see if you're in frame here. You can see where I'm coloring. Yep. Okay. So we're going to go around the outsides. Do this on all these. I'm using number 911 olive green is what I have in Prismacolor. I tried to give her a gray-haired look, but the gray I have wasn't very good, so I'm going to try to go over it again with a white Prisma and see if that changes it out a little bit, makes it a little bit lighter than what it is. But I'm working with what I have. Get these in here. The last page of February. Then it's off to dragons, dragons, and more dragons. Which I had a video up of all the dragons I picked out that I'm going to color. I'd like to color, but if I actually do is a whole other thing. Especially the Kirby Rosanna's ones. Oh, I would love to be able to. And we'll see what I can accomplish. Because I usually use my weekends for the coloring. So maybe I can catch up, because I didn't think I'd get all my February done. And last weekend I just like hunkered down and thought, you know what, I got to get these done. So I was really coloring away in between watching lives and such. So just trying to color while I was watching the lives. Okay, I think we got a few leaves down here. Let me see if you can still see me. Yep. Alrighty. My tripod is really in my way here with this big book. This is a very big book, so it's really hard for me to maneuver. I tried to put marks on the table so I could see where I needed to go for you to see. So if I pause, I'm looking through my camera to make sure you guys can see me. I had actually started this one to do a video on, and my phone wasn't working. That's why it was partially colored. It was not letting me video for some reason, so now I don't know if I should go with this green or the other green. I'll try this one, see what it looks like. Might not look so bad. That's not too bad. I'm not too worried about shading. If my camera was working fine, I wouldn't really care and I would take my time, but I'm having issues with it at the moment, so I take what I can get, right? I seem to be in a good mood today, so fingers crossed we get most of this done. All right, go up here to these. Then we have the flowers after this. Oh, I see 2 leaves that I missed there. There we go, with the last 2 leaves there. They don't even have any veins on them. That's just weird. Okay, now we'll get to the flowers. Let's see. Oh, let me try her hair first. Yeah, that don't look too bad. Blend it out a little bit here. And I'm gonna go over it with another blendy tool. It doesn't look so bad though. Okay. White Prismacolor to the rescue. And then this little crack here doesn't help either. It does not want to split open enough for me to get in there. There we go. It's a little bit lighter. Once I blend it all in, it'll look better. I'm going to post a picture of the finished product after I'm all done with it. I'm going to post the picture. If I don't, I got to go, let me see what we're at. Yeah, I'm going to give it another minute or two. I'll maybe just do one of the flowers and then do the rest off, because like I said, my camera is getting finicky. So I will try this purple. And this is color Violet 932. It was a nice day today. I hope it stays this way for a while. Still got tiny bits of snow patches here and there that need to melt yet. If it decides to, like I said, warm up more. This looks like it's part of that flower. Okay, and then I want to take another, I'm going to take violet blue around the edges there, pull it in. We got a few more good stories in that book yet. We have, there's King Tut, there's George Washington. It's just interesting how they actually died in the stories. And Henry VIII, he was a bugger, that guy. Yeah, he was just a mess. And Marie Antoinette, there's quite a few different ones in there. It's just very interesting. This one is PC 995 Mulberry. I'm going to go in and I'm just going to blend it all together. Oh my goodness, I don't think I really like these colors. But what are you going to do? I'm pretty sure I can fix it, make it look a little bit better with a few more shading areas on the rest of the flowers. You'll get to see what the outcome was. I'm not liking these colors together. I thought this was a brighter pink, but I will make it look a little bit better somehow. Let's see, is this blue violet? No, this one is. And then I'm going to shade it with the shading pencil, and hopefully that'll make it look a little better. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for coming along and listening to the story. Hope you liked it. And I will be posting this picture when I'm done. And I hope you guys all got finished what you needed to do, or close to what you needed to do for the end of February. And then already March happens. It's going by fast. So I have 2 videos up, one with my end of February pages and one with my March plans, which happens to be dragons, and then more dragons. And check out Zuvira Art. She is doing a hashtag March of the Dragons, and so that's what I will be posting them for. And I also drew a dragon that she'll be posting on her community page for, if you guys would like to color that page. I believe she got it into PDF form for you to print out, and you can color that if you'd like to. And I really like to see those finished pages. I'd really like to see what you guys come up with in your creative way as to how you are going to attack my dragon with your color. Thanks so much for stopping by. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, comment if you'd like to, and stay happy, stay healthy, stay creepy, stay creative, and stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.